coming to you live in the Skybox at Capitol Cabaret. It's a Saturday night, and our guest speakers tonight are entertainers Sage and Ashley. So, ladies, tell me, what made y'all want to get into the industry? Was it a friend that turned you on to it, or was it...
It's crazy you said that. There is a girl, she danced in Greensboro. She was friends with one of my friends, and she brought her pole to my house like 2 years ago. She danced in Greensboro, and she brought her pole to my house, and she flipped upside down on it. And I was like, I want to learn how to do that. And she taught me how to do it. And I don't know, I went to her club. That was the first time I ever went to a strip club. I went to her club and seen all the girls and the money. And I was like, once I get good on the pole, because my goal was, I was like, I'm going to learn pole stuff. And then I'm going to go and audition so I don't look dumb. But it didn't really turn out like that.
Let me ask you this. That club that she worked at, how is it compared to Capitol Cabaret? Not as good, or...
It was really small, and the girls were pretty.
Yeah.
But it was just like the environment was different, and like the customers were different.
Not as safe as the club here.
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay. Probably like not as like
it was kind of like it looked more like a bar with poles.
I've seen places like that.
Because there was a stage, but it wasn't like our stage. It was like longer, and then there was like 2 or 3 poles on the outside, but it was just, I don't know, it was kind of like ran down or old. I don't know. Maybe I didn't go on a good night.
Yeah, here we keep it clean, we keep it classy, very upscale here, you know. What about you? So tell me, what made you get into the industry? I actually remember your audition day, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know, I seen the Instagram for here. And this is the only club I've ever really, like, heard about. And I don't know, I just kind of auditioned. I just kind of jumped into it. Like, I had always seen, like, pole tricks and stuff on, like, TikTok and Instagram, and that's what really, like, attracted me to it. But coming in here, like, it's a whole
different world, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, too, and I get a lot of girls. I know you guys are still kind of fairly new in the industry, but a lot of girls, especially coming in, they're so scared to even remotely make that jump. Like, I'm going to go try to be an entertainer, you know, because in their head, they're scared they can't do pole tricks or they can't do this. From my experiences, and I see so many young girls coming in, get into it. All the pole tricks and stuff come later. If you have that ability to come in and, like, talk to customers.
Yeah, honestly, that's because when I started, that was my mentality before I had like started, like, oh, you need to know stuff on the pole and stuff. No.
Yeah, no.
That anybody can get up on a pole and do a trick.
Yeah.
If they're strong enough, or but to be a dancer, like an entertainer, that's like 10% of the whole thing.
Especially with our stage, because the pole, it does not...
Yeah.
So you have
and
to know.
Even then, like, customers and talking, that's how you make your money. Like, you can make money from pole tricks and knowing how to do stuff on stage, but that's not how you're gonna make money.
I always tell the girls that come in, the money is not at the top of the pole. It's in the customer's pocket. So if you can relate with them.
That's a good saying.
If you can relate with them, then you can make your money. How do you think your life's been different since you started entertaining opposed to working a restaurant, or like the type of money that you do
That's
make?
a good question.
Money's definitely better. And like outside, like people like looking at you, people definitely look at you differently. Now, like if you tell somebody like, oh, you're a dancer, they definitely look at you a lot different than if you were to say, oh, I'm a server, you know?
Yeah, a lot of the time, especially men, not so much women. Women judge different than men to dancers, but men automatically think you're a prostitute.
Oh, yeah.
When you tell them that you're a dancer.
That's the stereotype.
Automatically think you're a prostitute.
All right. I got you. This leads me into my next question. How did y'all overcome that? Was it just a it mentality, or do you have to find someone that can cope with that? Like, I mean, it takes a special someone to date an entertainer.
I don't know. I haven't really, nobody I've talked to has had a problem with it, really.
I feel like they expect more
Yeah.
because you are a dancer.
Yeah.
So, like, they expect you to do more things, and it just...
They expect you to maybe move a little quicker than
Yeah.
most.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely, and I talk to a lot of girls, and I can tell you, even just being a male in the industry, you know, when I go to settings or places, I don't necessarily just openly throw out there like, well, I run a gentleman's club, you know. You're going to get a lot of those stereotypes. Sometimes I just don't even tell people, or, you know, sometimes you do run in those people that have a good mindset about it. They're like, wow, man, you run Capital Cabaret over there. That's a cool club, you know. And so I find it's like 50-50. Some people hate it, some people love it, you know. For a newer girl that was like interested in coming into the industry, like they had never even walked into a gentleman's club, and they meet y'all two and they say, hey, do you think I could do it? You know, like, what would be some of your advice to them? Like, what would you tell them?
Go to a club that you want to work at and see what the girls are doing and like just what the club is. Because I feel like if I had never went to a strip club before I came here and auditioned and worked, I wouldn't have known what to do.
See, I don't know, because I had never been to a strip club before here. Like, I've never been to any other strip club but here. But I don't know, I just kind of jumped into it. So I say just...
Also, everybody can't do it.
Yeah.
It's
true, but practice makes perfect. It takes time, like, even to just do like the simple stuff like walk around the pool.
But there's also different types of clubs. Like, this is a gentleman's club.
Yes.
So like if someone's like, oh, I want to go and dance, that's why I said go to a club that you would want to go to, because different clubs are different.
Absolutely.
This club, we're just topless and like we have different rules, but other clubs, they do other things.
Oh, wide open. They're wide open. The rooms, they're wide open. We do here at Capitol, we keep it very clean, very classy. You know, we try to create a very safe atmosphere for y'all. When they start talking about this club, I can confidently say we're probably the safest club in the area. We're probably the cleanest club in the area. You know, 100%.
That's what I tell people too. Like, I'm like, our club's not like other clubs. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, you don't have to say no names. We all got to put them on blast.
I'm like, it's not like, it's not what some people think it is.
Yeah, just because we work in a strip club does not mean we're full service.
Yes, and it is I do feel very safe here. Like, I've heard about other girls working at other clubs, and they're like, oh, it's kind of, and I'm like,
So I will say this. I talk to a lot of entertainers that come in first time. You know, they ask questions. I try to make them feel comfortable. And the first thing I have to tell them, if you watched any TV shows or if you heard anything, go ahead and scratch that. Any stereotype you got, scratch it. Take your experience tonight. Have some girls show you around. We're not wide open like the other club.
Well, I feel like we got very lucky where we came, because even like my audition, I did not know what I was supposed to do. Like, I just stood there and I froze up, and Amanda talked me through it, and it's just we got a good first club.
Absolutely. Me and him, at least, we've gotten to a point where we can tell if a girl doesn't know what they're doing on the pole or they can't really dance, but we know that that's going to come with time. Yeah. This leads me to my next question. In y'all's two opinion, what makes a good entertainer? Is it the talk game? Is it attitude? Obviously, you got to be pretty.
Just say attitude, because if you have a good attitude and you know how to talk, I feel like it's, you know, the money is definitely going to come.
Yeah, especially definitely know how to talk.
Yeah.
You have to know how to not even just people, like certain people, because you can't just go up to everyone and say the same. Everyone's different. Like, you have to really know how to talk to different types of people.
Yeah, but I mean, with certain customers, like, certain customers don't get rooms. Like,
yeah, you can tell.
Like, that come in, they don't get rooms,
but they got
stage money.
If
you have a good attitude, you're nice, and you talk to them, they're gonna give you money. So I think it's about your attitude, really.
You know, me as just a guy that's been in the industry, but I've also visited multiple clubs. I'm a little different. When I go in, I'm looking at everything, right? I'm watching. Girl sits down, she's ordering a fake drink from me. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm watching everything. I know it. I tell this story all the time. I went to this one club, man, and this girl, she wasn't even really my type, but she comes up to me, and I think I'm bringing this back to what y'all were talking about, the attitude, the talk. You know, she comes up to me, and I was partying, and she's like, man, you seem like you're the life of the party. Like, I'm going to buy you a shot. So I'm like, no, you really ain't got to do that. Like, I'll get you one. And she's like, no. She ends up buying me 2 or 3 shots and just talking to me, kicking the with me. I'm like, man, this girl's actually really cool. Like, she is chilling, partying. And in my head, I felt like she won't even trying to get my money. She was just being really cool. But of course, when she went on stage, what do you think I did? Man, I threw a bunch of money on her, and she was super cool. Sometimes girls will go right up to a table and say, do you want to dance? Do you want to dance? And man, guys can feel that. They can feel that like wanting that money. And they're like, it just kind of a turn off. Sometimes if you just be yourself and be cool and carry that conversation, have a great attitude, like, boom, you'll make that money.
It's crazy you say be yourself, because I've had a lot of customers who are like, I like you. Like, you're just like so real. Like, and I'm like, just me.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story I had experienced from one of the competitor clubs. I went in there, and I don't even think they might have not known who I was. Oh, they do. But I was sitting there chilling, and it kind of bites off what he was saying with feeling like the crowd, and like you can feel when they just want money. Well, I had a good amount of money to spend, probably a couple $1,000, but I was just kind of chilling at first, getting some drinks, and I had this girl come up and entertain her, and she kept, wanting to do a dance, I said, hold on, like, I ain't even got a drink yet. Give me a second. Like, and, but she kept going on, and then she ended it. She said she had told me, well, you need to pay me for my time, or I'll just have a bouncer throw you out. And I was like, oh, really? Like, just for sitting here talking to me, I have to pay you for that? Is that how it works? And she was like, yes, that's how it works. We get paid for our time. I said, okay, call a bouncer over here. And then when she called the bouncer over there, I said, hey, I want to get, not her, those 2 girls over there, and I want to get your VIP suite and do an hour. I remember that night, but
I know she was mad.
But I know the game, and I could feel that, and I knew she was trying to play me. And then I had another scenario. This was out of town. The old, like, I sat in there. I mean, I didn't have, like, I was dressed normal. I'm talking Hanes tee, some regular blue jean shoes. And I got a bunch of ones. I think he was with me. I had like $2,000. I was just chilling. Not one girl talked to me all night, except the bartender. The very end of the night, I said, hey, you're the only girl that, ever this, talked to me. You allowed to do dances? It was during the COVID era. And she was like, yeah, actually. I was like, okay, well, how about like when you get done, like we'll do some dances. And I told her, you was the only girl that talked to me. How much can I get for this? I just threw out the $2,000. Ended up doing dances with her all night. Only girl that talked to me all night. I sat at the bar by myself, just waiting. Not one girl talked to me.
It's crazy. I think it was 2 nights ago or a couple nights ago. There was a man, he was here for like an hour, maybe. And I went just like, nobody's asked you for a dance. I was talking to him, he was like, no, I've been waiting for someone to come with me, and I was going to give him a dance. I was like, okay, he got to dance with me. No one had went up to him and talked to him except me.
That's sometimes how it goes. All right, so tell me this, y'all, too. I know you have to have some crazy stories with customers. What's some stuff some customers have said to you or done to you that
I have one
you was not prepared for? Everyone
this is crazy. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna just say it.
Yeah.
So growing up, I grew up not far from here, right? Y'all know where I grew up. I used to go to this Mexican restaurant all the time with my family. So my family knew like the family that owned it or whatever. I think it was like my 2nd or 3rd month working here.
Huh.
There was a man standing at the bar, and we were about to close. Like, it was like an hour or 30 minutes till we closed. And I walked up to him and told him because nobody else was talking to him. And he got to dance with me. But when I was talking to him, he was like, you used to come in to the restaurant. And I was like, yeah, I did. That's why you look so familiar. Anyways, this man has known me since I was young.
Oh, no.
He got a dance with me, and in the dance, I was sitting on him like my back was turned towards him, and he grabbed my foot, pulled my foot. Mind you, my foot is like this, and my foot's in the air. Grabbed my foot and is kissing my foot. So my foot's right beside my head, and he's kissing it.
Foot fetishes. Foot fetish goes deep in here.
That was like my first kind of weird, because
Yeah.
but yeah, that was crazy.
I've seen situations where there's customers putting girls' whole foot in their mouth. Yeah. So, what about you? Any like weird experiences?
I'm not too sure off the top of my head. I've had a lot of people on me, and a lot of people. Yeah, when I started White Room, and they'll expect that you can do more in the White Room, and then they get in there and they just pull it out. So, yeah.
I didn't realize it was like, a lot of times that does happen to guys, like to getting too excited and stuff. When I worked that podium and girls were coming out, yeah, Jacob, he's got to go. I'm like, what'd he do? Because I'm thinking, and they're like, he couldn't help it. And I look, and the guy comes out with the walk of shame. I'm like, it's okay, man. It happens to the best. So I had one situation where, after that, I had to ask the guy to leave, because he pants or whatever. And you could hear it. He was just like I was working the podium. This was like probably about 8-9 years ago. And I heard him. He was like, whoa, baby, slow down. Hold up. Slow down. And it was just a regular song by song. And I'm watching. He's like, no, stop. And then, obviously, he pants, and the girl was like, oh my God, he got thrown out. So I asked the guy to come with me. His whole family rushes up to the podium. What's going on? What are you doing? I was like, hey, man, like, he's got to go. Just calm down. Just calm down. Well, it started an uproar. Dad was getting angry, uncles, and I finally was just like, everybody, he nutted himself. Like, please, just meet me at the front. Pay your tab. Just stop. Bring it all the attention. And then the guy was like, I did. No, I did. And like, I was like, come on, man. It looks like you got an oyster in your pocket. I remember that George was trying to keep it very low key because he didn't want to embarrass the guy. I was like, hey, do you got a tab? He's like, no. I was like, all right, well, let's just walk to the front. Come on, walk with me real quick. And then his whole table and everything bum rushed me. So then I had to air his business out. I was trying to keep it like as low key as possible.
That was his fault.
So it does happen. As far as like being an entertainer, there's some girls that think it's easy. What would y'all say to them if they said it's easy? Anybody could do it.
I always say it's not easy money, it's fast money. Because there's nothing easy about it. I mean, you can be, which everybody starts from somewhere. You can come in here not knowing what you're doing. Because the night that I auditioned, I made money. I think my audition, I was late. I came at like 11, and I stayed till I worked that night because the house mom was like, do you want to work tonight? And I was like, sure, because she was working. And I made like $400, and I worked for 2 hours. I didn't do any rooms.
See, I feel like, again, that comes back to attitude, because if you don't know how to talk to people, or if you're not putting yourself out there, you're not going to make any money. Because I came in here and I sat in the corner for like months. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I sat in the corner for months and I didn't talk to anybody, and I wasn't really making good money. I had girls that would help me out, and they would get me to make some money, but I was talking to people and I wasn't putting myself out there, so I was not making money.
I remember that. That's it's funny you say that. I think this is where like having a good management team or a house mom or something like that. Specifically, remember you would chill with your friend up here, and I'd go up to her, I'd be like, hey, are you gonna go downstairs? Like, can I get you a Red Bull? Like, in my head, I'm trying to get her to move around and talk a little bit. But I think once the shyness wear off you and you kind of figure it out, you would make start making your rounds and meeting people.
Yeah, it's not easy because not every girl can come here or go in any club and take their clothes off and dance.
I'm not gonna do it.
They think they can, but when it's you and you're like actually in the club doing it, like you're gonna be scared a little bit if you've never done that before.
Even if there's nobody out there.
Yeah, and especially
getting up on that stage is so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, even especially if like you're insecure or you have something that you don't like about your body or any of that, like you might think in your head like, oh, that's easy, I can go and do that and make money, like, but when it comes down to it, you walk in here and you have to get up on that stage in front of a full club and take your clothes off and dance for them while they're all staring at you, paying or not. You're gonna be scared. You're gonna be like, oh shit, I can't do that.
The nerves are definitely gonna come up. I think it takes a certain set of confidence to be able to come in here and do it. Honestly.
And a strong mind.
It definitely does. And once you get in it and you start going on stage and you start getting all these compliments from people, it definitely gets easier and it definitely builds up your confidence.
I was gonna say, because we've talked about this on previous episodes. You got girls that come in here and they're very shy. After they work here for a couple months, they can go in and work a room. It's just weird. It's like, I don't want to say strokes the ego, but it definitely builds their confidence. I think, too, what a lot of people don't realize, man, I guess I know this just from dating entertainers and stuff in the past, there's definitely, like, you have to walk around and fake it all night long. You have to put on that smile and stuff. When you finally do get outside and you're done with work, there's a lot of like emotions and stress that you have to deal with walking around, putting on the fake and being the life of the party, to where when you finally do get outside, you can be yourself, where you're not entertainer, whoever, you're just yourself, so it's definitely a balance for sure. It can wear on you mentally being an entertainer.
Yeah, you have to definitely have a strong mindset because, like, we're talking about all the good stuff and, like, people complimenting you and stuff, but a lot of people don't talk about the bad stuff. How some nights you'll come in the club and you'll make $20 and go home. Or some nights you'll walk up to a man and he'll be like, you're not my type. Like, I don't want to talk to you. And you have to just be there like, oh, okay, like, is there a girl that you would like for me to get for you? And he's like, no. He'd be like, okay, have a good night, and still be nice, and like even though they're like turning you down.
But and deep down, like that cut deep a little bit.
Yeah, but also too, everyone has a type.
Yeah.
So like you can't have a club full of like brown-headed girls, or
gotta have a mix.
Like you always have to have a mix because everybody's looking for something.
Yeah. Yes, I could agree that. And then again, there's been many times I've had to coach a girl through and just tell them, hey, it was just a bad night at the club. It doesn't mean you're ugly. It doesn't mean like this person, you just want their type. Some girls may feel like if they didn't make money, it was them. Reality of it wasn't you. It was just a bad night.
Yeah.
But here, I do think us at Capital Cabaret, we do carry a great variety of girls, black, white, Spanish, blonde, redheads. I mean, we got a little bit of everything. We got a beautiful redhead and blonde in here on Cabaret Confessions with us tonight. So, I guess another thing I want to talk to you about is, as far as like your security and stuff here, how do you handle like if somebody does do something in a room or something that makes you uncomfortable, or he's trying to push that envelope a little too far, do you just stand up and walk out the room? Like, how do you guys handle that?
I always give one warning. I give them one warning because usually I will say, like, before the dance starts, like, you can't touch me here, you can't touch me here. And if they do it one time and they don't listen after that one time, I walk out.
Yeah. Also, too, like walk out, and then, like, I feel like all the floormen here are very, like, on our side and make us feel very secure, where they're just like, we tell them like, hey, like he was like touching me, they're like, okay, like we'll get him or whatever, like don't go back in there, whatever.
Awesome. Love the good positive feedback about our floormen. So for a girl that's maybe watching this video and she's thinking about it, what would you say a talented entertainer makes a year? For like a girl thinking about doing it, maybe she's on the fence and she wants to know, not y'all personally, but just in general, how much do you think an entertainer makes a year?
I wouldn't say there was a set price. I think that you can either make a lot of money or you can make.
It also depends on where you're at too.
Yeah,
where you're
you can
working.
make a lot of money, especially in a year. Just off of my rooms, I'm pretty sure I've made over 20,000, and I haven't been here too long.
I was going to say, if I had to give a round estimate number, but y'all know I do this and another job, I would definitely say that these girls make easy 100,000 a year.
I was about to say 100,000 at least.
I would say 6 figures easy.
Yeah.
But easy. I think, too, is if you think about the larger steps, right? Okay, a girl can make 100,000 dancing. That gives her money to invest in something else. So I've seen girls pay for their schooling through dancing. Hey, I'm going to try to open this up, or I'm going to invest this here, or I'm going to start a retirement. So, I always tell people, especially the newer entertainers coming in, you make money like a dancer. Don't spend it like a dancer, Bevy. Try to save it. Stretch it.
That's another thing she told me when I started. She was like, when you start, you're going to make money, like more money than you've made ever, like working a job. She's like, don't blow it. She's like, because as soon as you get that money, she was like, because that's what I did. She said, I started and I made a lot of money, but I blew it.
And it is hard because when you do make that type of money, you want to have things for yourself. You want to reward yourself.
Yeah, especially when you never have had like that type of money before.
And when I started here, I wasn't in the best situation. So coming in and seeing all this money, I'm just spending it, and then I lose my car, and I have nothing to fall back on.
Remember that.
You gotta make sure you have something to fall back on, because it is a lot of money, but you can go through it so fast.
Oh, yeah.
So fast.
And that's another thing. Like, you always have to be humble dancing too, because like you can make it, but then you could lose it, or you could not make it this night, and vice versa.
And I always tell the girls, at least when I'm talking to them and they're on the fence or they're new and they're unsure about the money, I always tell them, don't look at your money per night or even per week. Add it all up. Tell me how many hours you worked and how much you made in a month.
Mm-hmm.
That'll tell you like your income. And of course, as y'all know, we don't do like the forced tip outs here. It's an etiquette thing. What do you think? Like a girl at the other clubs, y'all know they do that forced tip out. I like to do it kind of that etiquette base, because you don't know what a girl's got going on. Like you mentioned, damn, I lost my car. You don't know what she's got going on. So that's why we do it the way we do it, because she might not do good one night, but then she does good the next night, and she takes care of everybody.
Yeah, very true.
How do y'all think this club compares to our competitor clubs?
I don't know. I've never been to another club.
You never even partied out at one?
No.
You never even ventured out there?
No.
Ours is definitely cleaner and classier.
Yeah.
Very classier than
some of the other ones.
Yeah, around here.
I've seen some reviews about a club around here.
I've also just heard a lot of stuff. Like, even before I worked here, I've really never heard anything bad about this club.
Yeah, like in other clubs, you can do stuff with customers and you can get away with it. But here, you're not getting away with that. No.
All right, so we do this thing on our segment that we try to do with our entertainers. It's almost like a little game we play. I'm going to give y'all scenarios. This one is it's going to be called red flag, green flag. Y'all tell me if it's a green flag or a red flag. We'll get each of y'all's opinion. It's just kind of something fun we do. All right, for the first scenario, a customer who tips big but wants zero conversation. Red flag or green flag?
Green flag.
All right, a customer who brings their wife or girlfriend.
Red flag.
I don't know.
It's okay if
I
y'all
don't like couples.
Yeah, it's okay
I
if y'all
don't like
differ.
couples, but like I don't feel like that's a red flag, because like they're comfortable enough in their relationship where they can come watch naked girls dance.
Well, it could go
That's
both
true,
ways.
And most of the time, most couples, it's mostly the girl tipping, and it's most of the time her husband's money
Yeah.
or her boyfriend's
But
money.
the girl's running the show.
Yeah.
And he's smart enough to be like, hey, baby, here's the money. You do your thing. I ain't about to get cussed out when I go home. All right. A manager who hangs out in the dressing room all the time to check on everyone.
Red flag.
Red
And
flag.
I will just tell everybody I don't do that. Yeah, no. All right. A dancer who brings their new boyfriend into the club.
Red flag.
Don't do
Why
it.
would you ever do that?
Go
Why
ahead and
Do not do
I would be like, is he forcing her to do this? Like, is he watching everything? That's what goes through my head. Like, because me personally, I don't want to watch my girlfriend, like, dance on all these guys stuff. Look, baby, call me when you get off. I'll pick you up. All right. A dancer who borrows everything but never returns it.
Red flag.
A guy who wants you to dominate him in the VIP.
Green flag, because you can do what you want. Yeah.
Green flag.
Yeah.
All right. A customer who asks, so what do you really do?
Red flag. That's back to everyone
be
thinking
funny
we're
as hell.
prostitutes.
All right. A customer who constantly brings gifts.
Green flag.
Okay.
Well, what kind of gift?
I was about to say, because sometimes it could be.
I don't want nothing that you've cooked. I'm not eating anything that you cooked.
It's like sketch. All right. Then I got another one we're going to do. It's like, never have I ever had someone, can I get a free sample when it comes to get the dance?
I have, yeah.
Everybody wants the, okay. Never have I ever busted my ass trying to do a trick I shouldn't have been trying to do.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
y'all do it on the main stage or up here?
No.
I've only done a trick on the main stage like once, and I was drunk.
You
Hey, I didn't fall though.
did?
I didn't.
Okay. Never have I ever had a customer fall asleep during a dance.
I don't think so. Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean, close to it. He was not enough because he was a little drunk. But yeah.
Okay. Never have I ever been offered a ridiculous amount of money to do something outside the club.
Yes.
And 99% of the time, they don't have the money.
Yeah, this man, he wasn't even from here, but he was staying at a hotel near here, and he was about to leave to go back to wherever he was from. And he was like, I'll pay you $1,000 just to drive me home, because he was drunk. And I was like, no, I can't do that. And he was like, okay, $5,000. And I was like, I still can't do it. I'm like,
It's
I'm not
the
gonna
price.
lose.
I just can't
Yeah,
do it.
I'm not gonna lose my job over $5,000.
No.
I'm just not.
I got a good one. This one is a good one. Never have I ever had a customer recognize me outside of work.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have? You
Yeah.
ran into a customer?
My sister's friends.
Oh,
Yes.
shit. Did they pretend not to know you?
No, they knew exactly where I was.
Did they call you out on it? Like, what about you?
Never.
Okay. I got to say something. I got to tell this one story. I went to the casino. It was a brand new entertainer. She didn't stay here long, but she came and danced. She was a traveling dancer. I go to the casino and I'm chilling at the blackjack table, and I look over and it's her and like her boyfriend, and she's got that look, and I like double take her and we meet eyes, and she literally sitting there and she like, and I'm just smiling. I'm like, I never talked to her. Her boyfriend did not know she came here and danced. I've trained myself. I've ran into similar situations. I'll see, not like the girls that work here all the time, but just randomly maybe did it for a little while or something like that. And we'll see each other, and she knows who I am and I know who she is. And I just kind of like, and like just keep it moving. But I've trained myself not to, even if I talk to an entertainer outside here and they could be around their family or friends and I run into them, I never bring the club up, because I don't know what these people know about you. I don't know what they know about me. So I'm just going to play it cool until you give me the go ahead. If you start talking about the club, then I'll carry conversation. If not, I'll act like I met you at the pizza restaurant. You know, we used to serve at a restaurant together, something like that. Well, it is 11:55. We do want to give y'all time to make some money, so we're probably going to go ahead and shut it down. All right, guys, that is it for tonight's episode. That number, if there is any girls out there that do want to maybe try to get into the industry, you want to come by Capital Cabaret, check it out. We'll post that audition line number below. Join us every weekend where we do have in-house interviews along with celebrity adult film stars coming in. Drop a like, drop a comment, follow, and we'll see you guys next weekend.